So Prince Harry has cut an increasingly lonely figure in recent times, skulking solemnly around the States amidst reports that he's considering relocating back here to the UK. And our very own Phil Dampier has offered an inside perspective into Harry's state of mind this week, suggesting that the runaway royal is struggling without his own friendship group, leaving wife Meghan free to control his social life. Well, I'm very pleased to say that Phil, alongside Lady C, joins me now. So, Phil, what more can you tell us about that, then?
Yeah, good evening, Patrick. This is actually an interview that I gave to The Sun the other day, and quite a few people seem to have picked up on it. I'm told on good authority that he's quite lonely. He's quite isolated in California. Maybe that's part of Meghan's plan to isolate him from his friends as well as his family. I just don't feel that he's got a group of mates to go out and have a few beers with and unwind and relax and talk about matey men things that we all like to do at the pub. And I think he's become completely dependent on her for his social life. I mean, we see him at things like the Beyonce concert, basketball matches and things like that. Formula One he was at. But he always seems to be with sort of, corporate types, people that he works with. He doesn't seem to be with a group of mates. And I think this is having quite an effect on him. And when you think, I don't like talking about Christmas in November, when you think Christmas is coming up next month, he's been the third Christmas he hasn't seen his family. I think he's becoming quite lonely and quite isolated. I don't have any information about him wanting to move back here, but I think it's starting to take its toll on him.
Yeah, Lady C, I mean, everyone could see this coming, couldn't they? You get married, and then all of a sudden, you cut ties with your family, you cut ties with your long-standing friends, you move continent, and then, shock horror, you've got someone pulling your strings all the time.
Yeah, but that's Meghan's game plan. Meghan is a dominatrix and Harry is a subservient. And what she has done is she has isolated him from all of his old support group, family, friends. I mean, the fact of the matter is, my understanding is a lot of his English friends don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. But I mean, who does he have to be friends with? Phil is absolutely right. In America, the only person he has who is his friend, as opposed to somebody associated with Meghan, is Nacho Figueras and his wife. Absolutely no one else does he have. It's absolutely astonishing. I mean, he's like a Stockholm victim.
Phil, are we too quick to blame Meghan here? I mean, Harry's a grown man, for goodness sake, and he's got to sort himself out, as and see he's wandered into this situation.
According to critics, Meghan Markle's game plan from day one has been clear. Isolate Harry from his friends, his military buddies, and yes, even his own family. And guess what? They're saying she's succeeded. Harry, once the life of the party and surrounded by friends, is now described as totally friendless. Think about that for a second. This isn't just about a guy moving on after marriage. This is about someone cutting ties so completely, even his closest friends no longer pick up the phone. Let's be real here. This is a classic move straight out of the toxic relationship playbook. If you cut someone off from their lifelong support system, you make them completely dependent on you. Meghan allegedly did just that, creating a bubble where Harry only hears one voice, one perspective, one version of truth. Sounds familiar, right? That's the narrative. They're a team of two fighting the world. But in reality, it means Harry has lost everyone who once kept him grounded. We've seen the pattern. First the military friends, then the celebrity allies, even powerful A-listers like David Beckham have reportedly cut ties. When you're burning bridges at that rate, you have to ask, is it really the friends or is it the environment Harry now lives in? And honestly, folks, who wants to stick around when every conversation is filtered through paranoia, complaints, and public feuds? That's not friendship. That's exhausting.
Well, yeah, he has got to grow some, I suppose. You could argue that he needs to stand up to his wife, but we're not allowed to say that sort of thing these days, are we? It's sort of misogynistic. No, I mean, it should, like any good marriage, it should be a partnership. They should listen to each other. But she ought to know that for him to be happy and for the marriage to be successful, he has got to have some outlets. He has got to be able to let off some steam. I mean, James Corden was living out there, wasn't he? He might have been a friend, but he's come back to England. There's people like Elton John, who he's over in Europe, so he's not going to see him very often. So Lady C's right. Apart from the polo player, I don't really know any friends he's got out there. So he is getting increasingly isolated, I think.
Maybe he's just not very good company, Lady C.
Well, actually, he used to be very good company, I'm assured. I mean, I haven't seen him since he was a little boy, and he and William used to play with my children. But, he always was supposed to be good company. And so, no, I think he was good company. But Meghan's game plan has been to isolate him, and she has successfully achieved that, But it goes along with her personality. She isolates people. That's how she has domination and control and power.
Okay, all right. And Phil, I suppose people, like we were saying, could have seen this coming. The question is, what now? I mean, there is only so long somebody, especially if somebody's already had a few issues, which he's been very open about in the past, and mental health and everything like that, can remain vehemently unhappy for, can't he? And I wonder whether or not, as well, he's got this issue with his parents' marriage splitting up and him not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. Is he just trapped?
He is a little bit trapped. I mean, there was this talk of him moving to New York as a sort of stopgap. I don't think that's really going to work. I think he needs to come back here a bit more often and maybe see some of his old friends, even if Meghan doesn't come with him. I mean, I've said many times before, I don't think she feels particularly welcome back in the UK, and I don't think she wants to come back. But maybe he should come back on some private visits or find some charities to get involved with again, and that might help. But at the moment, he's out there and looking a bit friendless.
All right, look, Lady C, I just want to ask you about a slightly different topic, but keeping in relation to Harry, because the Netflix series The Crown has been ramping up again, hasn't it? And it's got a few deeply controversial moments in it. It's got the death of Diana. It's got this idea that she might have been pregnant when she died. It's got the idea that she might have been part of some kind of establishment plot to murder her. And then there's the ghost scene as well. Do you feel sorry for Harry for having this out there? I mean, most people don't have this out there about their mother, do they?
Well, I think Netflix has pulled a very interesting one where Harry is concerned. Netflix has bought Harry's silence, and let's wait and see what happens, because The Crown has been a huge success for Netflix. Harry and Meghan's operation with Netflix is chicken feed compared to the importance that they placed upon The Crown. And let's wait and see, once this is all done and dusted, how long Harry and Meghan's association with Netflix is going to last. Wow. Because what they have done is they have bought Harry's silence with, dangling a few million carrots underneath his nose. So it's a really interesting dynamic. And I mean, nobody could pay me enough money to betray my parents, but I suppose Harry's a different case.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would appear so. Just final word to you on this, Phil, then. Do you feel as though Netflix has bought Harry's silence over his comments about potentially deeply insensitive footage or dramatised footage, anyway, of his own mother's death and then resurrection as a ghost?
Yeah, well, we know he's going to watch it, don't we? He said that in the Netflix series that he watches The Crown, unlike other members of the royal family. So, he probably has had his silence bought. And, it's this business. I did say the other week that I thought it would be a good thing if it stuck to the facts and a new audience would get to know about Diana. But sadly, if they're going to start going into some of the conspiracy theories that she might have been pregnant or she was bumped off, then, I'm afraid it's a bit of a forlorn hope. But, yes,
on that, Phil, sorry to cut across, but we've not got long left. And Lady C, look, all of these things that are coming out in The Crown now, I know that it's a drama, but the unfortunate reality is that this gets beamed out around the world, and a lot of people just take it as fact. Was Diana pregnant at the time of her death? Was she bumped off?
She definitely was not bumped off. Diana would have survived if she had on her seatbelt. There have been exhaustive inquiries and investigations done. And when I wrote my posthumous Diana biography, The Real Diana, I spoke to all of the parties concerned, including the doctor who immediately attended to her. Dr. Mayo, I think was his name. We lectured the following year after her death at Birkbeck College together. And, there's absolutely no doubt that it cannot have been a hit because
Okay.
the only people who knew where the car was headed were the 4 people in the car. Is it
Okay.
realistic that there were going to be 30 or 40 different sets of people scattered throughout Paris to hit Diana? And if she'd had on a seatbelt, she'd have survived.
Okay.
It's
All right.
absolutely insanity.
Here's the bigger picture. Harry isn't just losing friends, he's losing identity. Once the cheeky, fun-loving prince who connected with people everywhere, he's now seen as isolated, bitter, and controlled. Meghan's critics argue this isn't by accident, it's by design. And the result? A prince who's friendless, vulnerable, and cut off from the world he once knew. So here we are, Harry, a man who once had the world at his feet, now described as lonely and friendless. The question is, does he even realize it? Or is he so deep in Meghan's world that he can't see how much he's lost? At the end of the day, isolation is power. And if Lady Colin Campbell and other royal experts are right, Meghan has played that game perfectly. That's today's breakdown, folks. If you think Meghan deliberately isolated Harry, smash that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense commentary, and drop a comment below.